Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. So finally I'm able to harvest the huckleberries. Now, pay attention to species because this isn't necessarily a true huckleberry. We call these garden huckleberries. They are a part of the nightshade family, and this is one of the reasons why you have to make sure that when you're picking them that they are completely black. If they're not completely black, they can be considered toxic. Now, one of the things that I do like about this berry is that even though it's tasteless when it's raw, it makes a really great jam or it makes a really great pie. So there's been a lot of debate back and forth of whether or not to eat these or whether or not to harvest them due to toxicity. But I can tell you that we have grown these quite a bit, and essentially all we do is really just use them for a great jam or a pie in the winter. You're still getting that vitamin C. It doesn't taste like a wild huckleberry. So if you're used to harvesting wild huckleberries from the woods, then this isn't the huckleberry that you're looking for. This is going to be a huckleberry that you're going to process and you're going to sweeten in order to bring out the flavor in the berry. These plants are extremely prolific. The size of the berries are amazing. Check out all of these berries that I have to actually harvest. Now, they will keep producing. I'm just going to put them down in my bowl here. They'll keep producing until frost. So you can see here I've got lots of green ones coming up still on the plant. But we're going to be harvesting these ones next to it. So we're just going to take our time, pick some huckleberries, these garden huckles, and then I'll give you an idea as to how many you can get just from planting 3 plants by themselves. Here we go. I'm trying to get a little bit closer so you guys can see what the berries look like. Now, if all the cluster is mature, you can actually just take a pair of scissors and snip them and just drop them into the bowl and then separate them later. And that actually might be how we have to do this because we just have so many mature berries on one of the vines that it's going to take us forever. So maybe that's what we'll do. So what I'm doing is I'm disposing of these outside of the greenhouse so that we don't have a surge of garden huckleberries, but accidentally I stepped on one. So I wanted to show you these things are loaded with seeds, just like any other regular huckleberry plant or even a ground cherry. Hundreds of seeds in just a little cluster. So you got to be careful because they will self-seed readily and they can be invasive. So you have to really make sure that you're either going to get rid of them completely out of your greenhouse or out of your garden, or you'll actually see more huckleberry plants come up the following year. All right, so what I've done is I've actually pulled the roots of this huckleberry plant out so you can see how healthy they are. And they're really, really long. So these plants, the roots go really deep. I'm sure if I left this plant after clipping it off all the branches, this one plant, it would actually probably, I'm going to say, give me berries all winter until it was too cold in here to really do anything. And then those berries would drop and then I'd have a million of these plants. So just be careful if you are planting huckleberries because they are prolific and the roots are long and deep and they're very hard to eradicate once they start growing. All right, so here is the end of one plant of our garden huckleberries, and it's filled this entire bowl. So we would get probably 2, 3, maybe 4 bowls, big bowls of huckleberries from these plants. And then we can just turn these into jams or freeze them for pies and things like that. And that's really what they're for. So I thought I'd just bring you along really quickly today and show you what we've been doing here in the greenhouse and finally getting to the garden huckleberries. But like I said, if you are interested in doing this, just make sure that you harvest as many as you can or get rid of them out of either your garden or your greenhouse if you don't want to grow them again because they are very prolific and they will self-seed. Thanks for joining me today, guys. See you soon.